Hello students, I, Miss Kavalpreet Korpuri, welcome you to my YouTube channel. I am from Mumbai. I have completed my Masters in Business Management and I am set and net qualified both in the subject of Commerce. First of all, I would like to thank you for appreciating, liking and sharing my videos. If you are watching all my videos, I request you to please share with your friends so that they also can get benefit. And with your love and support, I have received requests that along with paper 1, I should even focus more on commerce MCQs. So today, I'll be discussing few MCQs of a commerce paper 2. As you all know, we have 10 units under commerce paper. And I always request, or I'll say I always advise and suggest my all candidates appearing for this examination that you need to focus equally on paper 1 as well as on paper 2. So we have few topics which are more important as compared to other topics in the commerce paper 2. But what happens is the paper 2 is unpredictable. Sometimes we get more questions on business economics, business research methods, and sometimes we get very few questions on accountancy or taxation topics. So this is not even in our hands, but what is in our hands is the efforts and the concentration or giving quality time to the preparation. As we all know, the examination is scheduled from any coming week of September. If you have checked the recent guidelines or the recent notice, so we expect the paper within 10 days. So we have hardly 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks, but we need to prepare 10 topics under paper 1 and 10 topics under commerce paper 2. So let's study. I've already discussed the syllabus of commerce paper as well as the paper 1 in my past videos. So if you're coming to my channel for the first time, ensure that you have referred those videos. I'll be sharing the description of those videos also in the link. So now let's start. Now this question is from business environment. I always ask my students that whenever you are starting preparation or if you are going to solve MCQs, you should have a thorough knowledge of the syllabus. Because once you understand the syllabus, it is your 50%, you can say, near to your qualifying this examination. We not only have to qualify as an assistant professor, but our aim should be to qualify junior research fellowship. Okay, so now let's start. The question is, which one is not an element of the legal environment? Okay, now see, the question states they're asking you the odd one out. Now here they're asking which is not a part of the legal environment. Now you understand, though we are given 4 options, we have to select the best suitable option. Okay, now here it is very clear that first option is the correct answer. Because if you look at the option number 2, Indian Contract Act is very much part of the legal environment. Indian Partnership Act 1932 is very much part of the legal environment. In fact, Negotiable Instruments Act is also part of the legal environment. Now see, I always say change your approach to study. Why? What happens is, now I was sure about this answer, so I was very happy that I got 2 marks. But while preparing, I always request that whenever you are looking at such questions and such options, ensure you are completing those 4 options in them. Okay, now first you should understand that this is part of business environment syllabus. Under business environment, which part this question has been asked from, and if I'm studying only legal environment, I'm missing the other portion of this topic. So here the correct answer is Act of Parliamentarians in Lok Sabha. Okay, so we need to study the various acts. Now this question is from business environment. Now as you all know, under commerce, we are studying business environment right from our first year. Okay, so here it is our duty to understand that along with business environment, we have related topic even in marketing as well as in economics. Okay, so the commerce paper becomes overlapping. Now quickly look at what I want to explain you. Now first of all, what is legal environment and what are the legal factors? So if I read this, legal factors are the factors that essentially bind the society to the business. Now when we are under commerce, everything is governed, okay, for business. So similarly, the legal environment affects a business. The legal factors are the part of the legal environment that ensures that the business is not causing any sort of harm to the people. So when you're operating a business, when you have started your business, any venture, okay, be it sole trading, joint stock, or joint into family, you have to ensure that you are not doing any harm to the society. Okay, now indiscriminate use of the resources is also creating a problem. Just because I am running a business of plastic, it does not mean I have the right to create problems for the environment. Okay, so these all are governed by the legal environment, or the people in the society who are much likely to be affected by this business act. So if you study legal environment in detail, you will understand what is legal environment, which are the factors which govern the legal environment, or who are the part of the legal, or what are the different components. Okay, but this question is from this topic, business environment. So this is a very beautiful chart. In fact, I know as we are from commerce, we have studied this topic from part 1 from our, in fact, not only in master's part 1, but even from the first year. So this should be something in your mind. Now see, business environment is divided into two, the internal environment and the external environment. If I talk about the internal environment, all those factors, okay, which can be completely controllable by the company, by the business, okay, is called as internal environment. And the factors which are beyond the control of the owner, the business becomes the external environment. Now internal divide, we have value system, okay, the values and beliefs of the top system, top management. Now example, if you're very ethical person, that is going to run down into your business. If you yourself are operating an illegal business, okay, so what value system you have? So value system of the owners, the management, who are the planners, the mission and the objectives. Okay, every business starts with a mission. Okay, you have something in mind. Now presently our mission is to qualify as an assistant professor and junior research fellowship. Now what is the difference between mission and vision? Mission is something short term, vision is something long term. Okay, what are objectives? The ends, whatever you want to achieve. Okay, then organizational structure, we have studied this. Okay, the line structure, the line and staff, then we have the matrix. Okay, how our organization is connected, through what we are operating. The corporate culture, which is again in that topic, because corporate culture is something which is passed from one generation to another. Now the business of Tatas, okay, they are very ethical, they are very good people, so that is going to be passed from one generation to another. And remember, culture is something invisible, we are going to show it through our behavior. Okay, now you go to a mandir, you remove your shoes outside, so that is, even your children are learning this. It is not something somebody is going to explain, we learn by seeing. Okay, then the quality of human resources, yes, if a human resource is excellent, or if you find any problem with them, that is completely in your control. You can hire good talent and you can even train them. Okay, the labor unions, again, it is in your hands how to control them, how to deal with them, physical resources or the technological capability. Now suppose if we don't have the required technology, or maybe if we are not using the updated technology, we can always change it, provided we have the finance and we know the knowledge. So anything which is completely controllable is called as the internal environment. Now question can be asked on business environment, which is not a part of the internal environment, or explain what you mean by, with the help of statements, what is internal environment. Now when I come to the external environment, again a subtopic which is very important. It is divided into two types, micro and macro. When I talk about micro environment, it is semi-controlled. Okay, why it is called a semi-controllable? Because to a certain extent, I can control. I'll give you an example, customers. Okay, sometimes I introduce such a product which is happily accepted by my customers. Okay, they were not even aware about that this product is needed by them. But yes, we try to create that need. So this is, you are controlling them in a small form. So again, what is micro environment? The organization, that is your company itself, your customers, whom you are, for whom you are existing, your competitors, then we have the market suppliers and the intermediaries. Okay, so this you can easily remember, either they start from C, the company, the customer and the competitors. So we have the 3C, and you can say we have 2S, that is suppliers, intermediaries, and even you can count the society. Okay, so easy way to learn. Now what is macro environment, which is completely uncontrollable? You cannot ever control that. It includes the economy. Okay, the economy, the recession in the country, the boom. Now after pandemic, we have realized, the FMCG, the fast moving consumer goods company, have realized that people are not able to buy big packets, so they have quickly introduced pouches, sachets, so that even a lower income group person can afford. So this is your economic environment, whether there is recession in the market. Okay, then we have the political, legal. Politics, we all know, the ruling party, Okay, the schemes launched by them, or sometimes it is very supportive, or sometimes the situation is such that they are not supporting, then we can even lose our foreign exchange. The legal, which the question was based on. Then we have the technological environment. Yes, we all need to upgrade ourselves. See, even in teaching, we have quickly moved from offline teaching to online just because of the technology. Then the global environment, right from sitting here, we can order goods which are produced or manufactured in the foreign country. Then we have the socio-cultural environment, the society and the culture. Now, I'm from Mumbai, so presently we are enjoying this festive season, or you can say festive days of Ganesh Chaturthi. So we all know modak. Okay, the sweet modak is very much in demand, or maybe ghee. Okay, all such things. So this is completely depends upon the society and the demographic factors, that is anything related to population. Now suppose a country has more of youngsters, so you can target products which are catering to the needs of the youngsters. Or suppose you have more people who are senior citizens, so you can attract them with certain schemes and all. So this is the macro environment, which is completely uncontrollable. See, I did not wanted to give you overdose, but yes, what I want to tell you is that whenever we study one question, understand it is from which topic. So here we are talking about the legal environment, which is very much part of the business environment. And if you want to study business environment, this is what we need to study. This is a chart. Okay, you can say one slide, we can frame 50 to 100 questions. Trust me, if you understand this. Okay, now this is the macro environment is called as Pestle analysis. PESTLE. I'm sure you are aware about this acronym because we have been teaching, or we have been studying this from our first year. The macro environment, the easy way to remember, and the internal environment. So tomorrow the question will not be on your legal environment. It can be on the political environment. It can be on the micro environment, or it can be related to the internal environment. Okay. So this is how you can study. So different books will give you, or different images will be where you will have certain difference between micro and macro, but easily identification. What we cannot control is macro. What is completely control is the internal environment. Okay. So micro is a part of external. Don't get confused. Now, moving on to the next question. Now, this is from business economics topics. Now, earlier, what happens when you used to appear in the physical format, they used to give questions together. Okay, 5 questions you will get on business economics. Then you used to get 5 questions on management, 5 questions on accountancy, and so on. But now with this online system, first question can be from any topic and the second can come. So there is no rhythm or no continuity. So let's see business economics. Normally, demand curve slopes up. Now, why I have highlighted normally? Because they are asking us a very basic question. Okay, this is in fact we are studying from our 11th standard. Demand curve. Now, first understand when a question comes on demand curve, what we need to understand. We should understand the definition of demand. Now, when I talk about demand, exactly we need to study supply. Okay, then we have the features of demand, then we have the assumptions, the exceptions, the various diagrams, how price is determined in the such markets. Okay, so see, one question, but we can understand the whole topic. So remember, whenever you sit down to solve any MCQs, it is a very much duty and responsibility to understand whether the question is coming from which subtopic, what is the main subtopic, and what we need to study. So normally a demand curve is a downward sloping. Now, why it is downward sloping? We have questions related to it. We have its properties. Okay, we have who has given this concept. Okay, who is the propounder? What was after law of demand? So all these questions can be asked from this particular topic. So here the correct answer is T down. I've given a note you need to study. Then we have the exceptions. Then we have examples. Now, sometimes what NTA Net is doing, they are deliberately giving us practical questions, because what happens is we are just studying from the books, but the practical aspect, until and unless we think, we change our pattern of study, we'll never understand. Okay. So in case of exceptions, we have upward sloping curve also. So see, generally we know this is the demand curve. Okay. On x-axis, we have the quantity demanded, and on the y-axis, we have price. We know as the price increases, the demand falls. So this is one of the reasons why it is demand curve is low. Downwards. Okay. Now see, this is the demand curve. I've given the explanation, but just remember there are so many questions. Okay. They can ask you contraction. Okay. They can ask you what is expansion. Okay. What happens if the income of the consumer increases? Okay. So there are various questions. Then when you study demand, you have also elasticity of demand. Okay. Then you have types. So see, even though I have not given you example question on elasticity of demand, in the next paper, okay, you may be asked a question related. Now, sometimes it is you have given goods. Okay, why they are called as given goods? Okay, what happens if there is a substitute in the market? Okay, so all such questions can be related to demand. So it is your duty. If you want to qualify junior research fellowship, you have to study in a manner that you're not missing any concept. Okay. The syllabus of commerce have already been discussed in my previous videos. In fact, I have made videos on each and every subtopic of this commerce, and you will get in-depth explanation of the syllabus, how to start and from where to study. Moving on to the next study. Again, this is from business economics. Now, perfect competition. Okay, you all know what is perfect competition. This is very basic question. This was asked in 2012. No longer such easy questions are asked. But yes, if you understand the base, okay, I always say 50% of the paper is very simple. Where you need to score is, you need to reach 70% for qualifying junior research fellow. Now, what is perfect competition? Now, whenever you study perfect competition, again, you have to study the different types of market structure. Stick to your syllabus. This we have studied in our HSC, 12th standard, then even in the undergraduates, and sometimes even at the postgraduate level. So this is a very beautiful chart which explains you the summary. See, you can jot down such notes because whenever you study 4 market structure in depth, you have certain main points which you need to remember. So let's see, we have 4 types of market structure. Okay, we have the perfect competition where you know it is a myth or a reality. Okay, you have to study that because such questions come. Okay, now there are products are exactly the same. If I'm selling you apples, everyone else is selling the same apple. Then we have the monopolistic competition. Now, what is monopolistic? Their products are differentiated. Okay, they are not substitute. Now, example, they have given movies. What happens if you don't go and see Karan Johar movie, but you go and see Ajay Devgan movie? So what happens is the product is differentiated. Though they are movies, but they are differentiated to a certain extent. Then we have oligopoly. Now, what is oligopoly? There are few firms. Now, what is the definition of few firms? Easily which can be counted. Now, if I talk about the movies, there are n number of movies. You cannot list them. But when I talk about the cab aggregators, okay, or maybe the airlines, you can name, okay, we have Ola, we have Uber, or you can say we have Jet Airways, or we have Indigo, or we have Go, or Air India. So, which can be easily counted is called as oligopoly. Then we have monopoly. You very well know. You go to the Indian Railways, wherever you go, you will get the water as neer. Okay, so that is the monopoly of the government. Monopoly of neer. So one form. See, from this structure, from this image, we can study what is monopoly, what is oligopoly, what is the difference between monopoly and monopolistic. Okay, don't get confused between monopoly and monopoly. Then what is perfect competition? The features, the properties, how price is determined. Okay, the types of product. Example, if I ask you, suppose about cab aggregators, then you should understand it is from the oligopoly market. Okay, then see summary. Number of sellers. Okay, first we talk about the perfect competition, monopolistic, oligopoly, and number of sellers under perfect competition are large. Okay, and number, because everybody is selling the same apples. Under monopolistic, we have many. Then under oligopoly, we have few, as I told you, which can be easily counted, and monopoly is only one. Type of product under perfect, identical. Everyone is selling. That is why they are called as a, remember, price maker or price taker. They are the price taker, because if you don't find the apples from one shop as good, you will quickly go on to the another because everybody is selling the same. So here it is identical and homogeneous, exactly the same. Differentiated, yes, you buy a television, okay, it will be little bit differentiated. Homogeneous or differentiated under oligopoly, depends. Then unique or no close substitute, monopoly, yes, okay. See, we have if I give you the example of neer, which the water which is sold at the railway station, they have a substitute, but on the platform of Indian Railways, you are not going to get it. Okay, entry condition under perfect competition, very easy. There is all the freedom given to you. Monopolistic, it is easy. Oligopoly is very difficult because there are so many rivals. Okay, and monopoly, it is impossible because otherwise it won't be called as monopoly. Control over price, perfect competition, none. Because if you don't find my product good or my price good, then you will quickly go on to the other because each and every seller is selling the same price. Then monopolistic, control over, you have some control. Then oligopoly, it is considerable. Generally, if you study in depth, you will come to know they form a cartel, or okay, which we are going to study in the next slide. And monopoly, you have some control. Okay, examples they are given. Okay, so just study. Whenever you are studying one question, you are going to study 4 topics. So here we are not only going to study our perfect competition, but monopoly, monopolistic, as well as oligopoly. Okay, so let's go into the question. Which of the following refers to perfect competition? There are restrictions on buyers and sellers. As I told you, there are no restrictions on. It is a completely free market. There are no restrictions on the movement of goods. Yes, this is the correct answer. There are no restrictions on factors of production. Again, this is the correct. So here only option number 2 is the correct. Okay, because there are no restrictions on buy. Today it was such a simple question. Tomorrow it can be on what do you mean by oligopoly, example-based questions, okay, or how price is determined. So study in depth. Never miss out any subtopic which is part of your syllabus. Again, question, consider the oligopoly models. Okay, now this is static syllabus. Now, what is static? This has been done in the past. You cannot change the year. You cannot change the model. Okay, if the new model comes, then it is something different. But here they are asking us the oligopoly models and arrange them in the correct sequence of their evolution. That is from A to Z. Okay, so we have the Sweezy King demand curve model. We have the Newman and game theory model. We have Conrad's duopoly model, Baumol sale maximization model. Okay, if you don't remember the year, then you waste this question, you lose your 2 marks. So such questions are very difficult, although you cannot change something in them, but yes, it is memory based. If you remember the year, what is Sweezy? Okay, now this time they have asked us to a sequence. Okay, next time they can ask us what do you mean by king demand curve? Okay, or which model was given by Sweezy? Or next, maybe the question will be on the game theory model. So remember, you study one concept, you are studying more than 4 concepts in a single question. So even though I'm discussing with you today only 10 questions, but you are learning more than 40 topics. Okay, so this is memory based. Here the correct answer is 3. Now, what is the homework for you? You need to remember which are the oligopoly models. Okay, arrange them in sequence and understand that whether there are models related to any other form of market structure. Now, see, I have given this oligopoly in detail. Okay, this is what can be studied along with when you're studying the different forms of market structure. Now, here, oligopoly, there are firms sell identical or differentiated products. Okay, collusion. What is collusion? I'll teach you in the next slide. Rivals aware of what are the, yes, if you reduce the price, the other may also reduce. Interdependence, you both are dependent. Okay, all the market players in the oligo market are in. Now, suppose one airlines reduce the price. Either all will do or either all will not. Okay. There are few major sellers, few which can be easily counted. Imperfect competition. Now, what is this? Okay, you need to study in detail. Non-price competition. What is non-price? They are not competing on the basis of price. Sometimes the airlines may give you more leg space or maybe more luggage area. Okay, so this is other than price. They're competing on facilities. They're competing on giving you benefits, but they're not competing. Everybody is selling the ticket at for 4,000, but somebody is giving you more leg space. Somebody is giving you more benefits, maybe coupons, frequent flyers, and so on. Enter and exit banks. Okay, so it is not very difficult, not very easy also to enter and exit such market. Now, this is difference between collusive and non-collusive oligopoly. Now, what is collusive? Okay, they form a cartel. Now, if you know OPEC, okay, our organization of petroleum exporting countries, they are a cartel of 12 members. Okay, they have decided how to control the supply. So here, what is non-collusive and collusive? Let's study, because today they are going to ask us question on oligopoly model. Tomorrow it can be what is collusive. See, it was nowhere related, but yes, it is very much part of oligopoly. So what is meaning? It refers to a form of market in which sellers eliminate. Okay, you are eliminating, removing the competition through a formula. So collusive is formal. Non-collusive means it refers to a form of market in which each firm has its own price and output policy independent of rent. So here you are not dependent. Okay, so here you are entering into a, okay, 12 countries have come together, or OPEC countries. So they have formed a formal agreement, but here nothing is like that. Collusion, here the few sellers collude to cartels to avoid. Okay, you want to avoid competition. I should not sell at a lower price than my competitor. So we come into a mutual agreement that is called as a cartel. Here, competition is preferred to collusion as a means of profit maximum. Okay, you are focusing on competition. You are not entering into an agreement. Price and output decisions under collusive, in this market, the price and output decisions of cartel are mutual. What we 12 members will decide will remain the fixed price. Under non-collusive, each firm has its own price and output. Because you are not entering into an agreement, you are behaving as a competitor. Interdependence, under collusive, the firm's decision are interdependence of each other. Okay, you are interdependent, because what I'm doing, if I'm one of the 12 countries of OPEC, then I have to focus on them also. Okay, interdependent. In this, the firm's decision are independent of rivals. Okay, whatever rivals are doing, I'm not taking care of it. I'm focusing on myself. Competition, there is no competition due to collusion, because you have entered into a cartel. Here there is cutthroat competition. Yes, non-collusive, there is cutthroat, because you are not forming any group. Selling cost, there is no need to incur expenditure to create brand loyalty, because you as a group, you are yourself as a cartel. And under this aggressive advertisement, because there is huge competition and you are focusing on the competition. Okay, collusive is also known as cooperative. So again, a question can be asked, instead of collusive oligopoly, they may use the word cooperative. So don't get confused. That is why I always say, if there is another word for this topic, content, or a particular word, please make sure you know that, because sometimes even if I was aware about collusive oligopoly, but I've never studied about cooperative, then I missed answering even the question which I could have easily answered. And under non-collusive, this market is also known as non-cooperative. They are not cooperating because they are working on competition. Creation of monopoly, this market is like a monopoly, as cartels have full control over the price and can earn money. So that is mutual. So they focus on creating monopoly. Whereas under non-collusive, there is no such market formation under this market because you are operating independently. Okay, but they are part of collusive. See, from this slide, we have 6 questions. We can from 10 questions, assertion reasoning, or we can talk about under oligopoly, which types of cartels we have. Okay, what is the definition of cartel? The example of cartel. Okay, there is another concept of price leadership. This is all related to oligopoly. So the question was only on models. But see, I've explained you the features of oligopoly, what is collusive and non-collusive. And now see, these are the oligopoly models, non-collusive and collusive. Okay, so under oligopoly, collusive, we have cartels, price leadership, markets. So you can study that. And non-collusive, I've already explained you through this. Okay, so you can need to study this, why it is called as king demand curve. Okay, what was actually sales maximization model? Because remember, we don't get repeat questions in net set because it is an all India exam. But yes, concepts are repeated. From one concept only, you can frame 100 questions. Okay, so hope you are with me. And if you are liking my videos, please share with your friends also, and do subscribe to my channel. Now let's move to another topic, business statistics and research method. This is very, very important because in future you are going to do research also. You are going to start your research papers. You need to even go for your doctorate. So this is very much important topic. Okay, always study from the viewpoint of teaching someone. Don't just study that you are supposed to qualify this exam and just get your job. So classification of respondents from whom you are collecting your data, only based on gender. See, now we can have only 3 categories of gender. Okay, suppose if I tell you, I've given you either you are a male, female, transgender. Okay, now we accepted various categories. Okay, we can say lesbian, we can say gay, and so LGBT community. But if in my questionnaire I'm giving you only 2 categories, and sometimes when you create Google Forms, they will give you a third option of can't say. Okay, so gender, you have this specific. Either you will mark as a male, either you will mark as a female, either you will mark as a third gender. Okay, so that is classification only based on gender. Okay, what you are doing, you are just qualifying, you are just classifying. Okay, so whether it is an ordinal scale, whether it is a nominal scale, interval scale, or ratios. Now this is very much important because when you start your statistics, okay, this is something you should be aware. Now what is this? I'm given you explanation here. Now let's see, these are the level of measurements and properties. Okay, nominal is just for classification. Okay, you are playing cricket, you are given a jersey number. So either your number is given or your name. Okay, my name is given behind my jersey. So that is just somebody will identify Kaval. Okay, so this is only classification. We can do nothing else on this. No analysis. Okay, we can create a pie diagram. How? There were 50 female students and there were 50 male students. Or you can say there were 20 who were not ready to reveal their gender. Ordinal. Okay, ordinal is order. Now classification and order. So you have classified males, females, or maybe colors, the blue row, green row, and order. Okay, so order is what? Now suppose you are in a competition. Okay, or you get a first prize, second prize. Now the student who has got first prize, maybe if I talk about academics, he has got 60%. And the next person has got only 50%. Okay, and maybe the third has got 90%. Okay, maybe in the order, suppose I give 90% should be the first rank. Okay, so what happens is there is no specific gap. Okay, no fixed interval between the percentage. Either you are 90, either somebody is 60 and somebody is 30. Okay, so there is a wider difference. But this is only just we are classifying and arranging order. The first rank is 90%, the second rank is 60. So there is no equal interval. So this is called as ordinal. Moving on to the third, we have classification, order, as well as equal units. Okay, now classification. I classified. Order I told you. And what is equal units? Now see temperature. 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30. Okay. Otherwise, if I say somebody first rank is 90, then second is 80, and third is 70. So equal 10. Okay. So here it has, see nominal has only property of classification. Ordinal has property of the nominal, and order. Okay, interval has property of both nominal order plus equal units. When you know that equal gap, okay, and ratio is the best, and we have under classification order and absolute zero. Okay, now see, when we have this absolute zero, if I ask you an example that how many children you have, you will never say it is 2.5. Either you have 2 children or you have 3 children. Okay, age and all. So here what happens is, you need to remember when we are going to use our analysis, okay, when we are going to start our statistics, this becomes very important. So today the question is on nominal. Tomorrow it can be an interval or ratio. Now generally, interval and ratio scale, people who are in the science background, they work on it. Otherwise, we are generally working on ordinary and interval. Now I'll give you an homework. There is a called as Likert scale. Submit it. Okay, you are filling questionnaire for all. Strongly agree, disagree. You need to study whether it is ordinal scale or interval. Okay, so this was very easy question. But tomorrow they can ask you, okay, we remember when corona was at its peaks, we have divided the zones as red, green. Okay, so that was again an example. You can say we are just classifying, we are not doing analysis. We were just telling that there were 100 cases in this area, or suppose that. So these are the scales, very much important. Just remember this slide, you will never miss, and this will become your base for PhD analysis as well. Moving on to the next question, statistical software packages for research in social science. Now read the question, software packages for social science. Okay, so we have SPSS, we have Stata, we have Minitab, all of them. Here the correct answer is all the above. Now what you need to understand, SPSS full form, why it is used, is it similar to Excel, what is Stata, why it is used, what is Minitab, and when I'm studying about one statistical software package, remember there are quantitative methods and qualitative. Anything that can be counted, or you can say you can quantify them, that comes under quantitative. And anything which you cannot quantify, such as beauty, for you Deepika Padukone may be the best actress, for somebody else it may be Aishwarya Rai. So when it is some qualitative description, opinion of the people, it comes under the qualitative. So we have different softwares for quantitative. Next time the question can be on Excel. Next time the question can be something related to plagiarism softwares, or it can be how we are going to handle our references. Now we have Zotero, we have Mendeley. Okay, I've explained you in my previous video. So here the question is, answer is all of the above. Moving on to the next. This question is from management. If you're a student of management, or if you're a student of commerce, you have studied business management and organizational behavior. Okay, and this is very much part of your paper 1 syllabus, communication. Now the question is made little tricky. Why? Because they've asked according to Keith Davis. So there is a person who is called as Keith Davy, who has given barriers to communication. Okay, now we all know what are barriers. Anything which disrupts my communication. Now suppose I am teaching you here, maybe my voice is not audible, or suppose what happens is somebody is sick at your home, or you are supposed to rush to somewhere else. So even though if you are giving a concentration, but something that is in the back of your mind. Okay, even maybe there is no power supply at your place. So even during the live session, you may be disconnected, or maybe your fan is not working, so it will become a discomfort too. So all this can be very much part of your barrier to communication. So physical barriers, technological barriers, personal barriers, or linguistic. So here the correct answer is technological. Now what are physical barriers, what are personal barriers, and linguistic, and what is counted as tech? This all should you know. Okay, because tomorrow, again I repeat, from one question we are studying 4 topics. Now let's see the barriers, obstacles. Environmental barriers are also called as physical barriers, which are caused by the time. Okay, you are staying in US, I'm in India, time matters. Or maybe the distance matters. Suppose now I'm teaching in a class of 120, and suppose I'm teaching through online. The voice, the audible, the distance. Place also matters, yes. Suppose now you are located in some place, I'm located in another place. And sometimes when in a crowd, you need to speak a little more louder. The climate, okay, yes, climate also affects. Then noise is something which actually affects all of us, because sometimes even though if I want to concentrate, there is a marriage going on in the background, or maybe somebody is playing music, so that can also become your barrier. And choice of medium. I'm going to teach to the rural area students where there is no technology, so I cannot go and use my PPT because they are not aware about it. So I have to definitely use the demonstration system. So barriers caused by wrong choice of medium. Okay, suppose my students are from non-English background and I'm going and speaking with them in English. We have the semantic barriers, okay, the words, the language. Now, I always give an example. Now, if you are from an IT background, for you, the knowledge of buying computers will be at a different level as compared to a person who is from a non-IT background. Okay, we may just go to see the storage, the camera quality, the phone quality, that's it. But otherwise, somebody will see the processor. So that is why, because you have that background. So it is caused by varied connotative meanings. Okay, connotative meanings, suppose every word has a different meaning. Okay, I can attach a different meaning to that particular word. Now, in Hindi, we have the word more, which means something else as compared to the English word more. Okay, so these are the semantic, the jargons. Okay, then we have the cultural barriers, which are caused by diversity of cultures. Sitting cross-legged in front of males in India may be considered as very sensitive topic, which may not be so much in the foreign countries because they are much more advanced that wise. Okay, in India, generally we prefer to wear red color during our weddings in our Hindu tradition. But yes, we have seen in Christian community or maybe in foreign, they even wear white and black. So this is just because of diversity of cultures. Then psychological attitudinal, something related to your mind. Okay, your moods. Now, suppose I go to buy something on 31st, last of the month. I may not have the amount in my pocket. So sometimes you get frustrated. Again, it depends upon your mood, the attitudes, relationship. As I gave you an example in my previous video that recently Maggie, okay, there was some scene related to Maggie and many people have stopped buying Maggie. So that becomes your negative attitude towards that product. Relationships, yes, you are buying chocolates, you are buying your stuffed toys or teddy bears just because of love and affection. Then we have barriers caused by varying perception of reality, because you think something else. Now there is a crow, okay, if he keeps on troubling us, we say kitna ganda ye pakshi hame tang karta. But yes, at sometimes the crow is also helping us protect our environment. Okay, so this is just because of a perception. The levels of understanding and comprehension also differs. Now you are at a postgraduate level, you are a teacher, your way of thinking of an educated person may be completely different from an uneducated person. Okay, it is not matter of who is correct or wrong, but yes, there is a difference between how people think. So there are so many barriers, right from physical, the other name. Okay, they will ask you identify which type of barrier this is. Now there is the students write so beautifully, you know now how designer handwriting, even they won't understand, so that becomes illegible handwriting. That also becomes a barrier to come. So these are the basic barriers. Even in part 1, I've explained in my part 1 videos, okay, under the communication topic, and here also it is a very much part of a syllabus. Okay, now moving on to the next question, business management. While establishing relation between Maslow's and Herzberg's theory. Now see, the question is combining two theories, Maslow theory, which is the need of hierarchy theory, and Herzberg. Okay, it is called as two-factor theory, the hygiene. Okay, so they say which, while establishing a relation between Maslow and Herzberg theory, which needs of hierarchy theory will fall under the hygiene factors. Okay, so which two types of factors? Why this theory is called as Herzberg two-factor theory? That made me. Here I have given the correct answer as social safety and physiology. Now you need to study the Maslow theory as well as the Herzberg theory. Okay, don't do any shortcuts. एक ही question में समझ आ गया, ऐसे नहीं होता है. Now these are the levels. Okay, we have the physiological, the basic needs: food, clothing, shelter. At present, I even say your mobile, your charger, your Wi-Fi, it is part of your physiological. What is safety? You should have security of your body, of employment, job security, resources, morality of the family of it. So this, you are concerned about safety of your well-being, your job, your standard in the society. Then we have love and belong. At a certain level, then we also need love, we also need appreciation. So you get that from friendship, your family, how close to your family members. Esteem, okay, you know, esteem, the ego needs. Okay, confidence. Sometimes what happens when we are unknown, we'll adjust everything. But so if in our profession we reach to a level when people start acknowledging us, they start knowing us, they start treating us an academic celebrity, so we develop an ego. Okay, so we start, even maybe that problems may crop up, then respect for others, respect by others, self-actualization, your highest form of needs. Okay, we have that trance music. Okay, sometimes you are doing meditation, then you start crying, or maybe कहते हैं ना झूम रहे होते. So this is all part of, you have reached a higher level. So we have morality, creativity, spontaneity, problem solving, lack of prejudice, acceptance of it, so self-actualize. So this is the hierarchy. Okay, we start from the lower level, we move on to the highest level. So each level has certain factors, certain parameters, which we need to understand. Let's see the next theory. Hygiene factors, motivators. This is Herzberg's two-factor theory. The hygiene factors: salaries, wages, other benefits, company policy administration, good interpersonal relationships, quality of supervision, job security, working conditions, work-life balance. Motivation factors: sense of personal achievement, status, recognition, challenging, stimulating work, responsibility, opportunity for advancement, promotion, growth. Now what happens is this becomes very confusing because for somebody motivator factor may be the hygiene factor and hygiene may be the, but trust me, stick to the syllabus. Whatever your book says is correct, because our questions will go wrong. Now why certain factors are called as hygiene factors and why certain factors are called as motivator? And here the question was that is when we are trying to combine this theory, Maslow and Herzberg, which needs of hierarchy theory will fall under hygiene. So the social, safety, and physiological need. Okay, that is related to that. Okay, the what is now explained you what is self-actualized, the highest needs. Okay, the transcendental level, esteem, social needs, social and safety, only social. So here the correct answer is 3. Now see, this was question on business management theories. See, I've given you comparison and content. So how many theories? We have the Maslow theory. It was revised by ERG, Elder. Okay, ERG is what is the full form? Who propounded this theory? Okay, such questions are asked. What is the difference between Maslow and ERG theory? Then we have the Herzberg theory. Then we have the need for achievement. Then they have given us 3 power, affiliation, competence. Then we have this other theories, okay, which may not be in the part of the question, but yes, when you study, there are so many, okay, theories. The Maslow theory, then the Herzberg theory, ERG. This is only just 4 theories, but there are various motivational theories right from the person who started their theory, the founder, the propounder, which year, what were the merit, what were the demerits, how to compare them. See, because in one question they have compared 2 theories. If you don't know both, then you will be able to answer. This time this was just a statement-based question. Next time it can be the match the column, it can be the year, or it can be the name of the propounder, or why it was revised, or maybe why what was the demerit. Okay, so you need to understand, study one topic, but study it completely. Okay, so again, this I've given you a description. What is job dissatisfaction? How you can prevent, or how you can encourage job satisfaction. So again, the Herzberg's 2-factor theory. Okay, now this was all for today, because I just want to keep the video little short, and because I really want you all to see, and ye nahi kahiye ki ma'am bahut badi videos thi, that is generally for revision. But this is where I was teaching you few questions. We have covered few topics today: business economics, business management, or the business environment. And in future, I'm going to come up with various topics and various videos. And tomorrow being Teachers' Day, we all know it is so much important day for us. And I always want to say that if you are happily studying today, you are going to definitely become a happy teacher, which is going to reflect in your students' result. Okay, just always give your best, because you never know. Even I was once upon a time, I was a very shy girl, you can say, or maybe I was never having that confidence to speak. But yes, now today I'm unstoppable, I'll say. So I always appreciate my teachers, my mentors, my guides, who has always given me an opportunity. Okay, and because of the love of my students, I cannot ignore you, because it is who you are, because you request me, you always want more from me. And trust me, a good teacher only because of a good student who listens to you, who actively participates with you, and make sure that he tries or she tries to find out the problems in your lectures. Because once they discuss something with you, then we also know where do we lack, and we always want to give best to our students. I'm a very, you can say, a person who can say, if I don't know something, I'll rather say I don't know, and I can always study and get back to you. Okay, so just be honest, ethical, and give your best to your students. I wish you all a happy Teachers' Day, even if you're not working at now, or maybe you have never taught to someone. But remember, the best way to learn is to teach someone. I've been doing this years, and today God has given me this privilege to teach you all. So teachers who love teaching, teach children to love learning. If you give your best, you are encouraging your students to give back. Okay, so just in case you needed to hear this today, you are a great teacher, your students love you, your family loves you, you are enough. So yes, we are the nation builders. And trust me, when you're teaching even to a small child, in fact, they work much more harder, because to teach ABCD is much more difficult than teaching this. This is so simple as compared to them. And I have huge and tremendous respect for teachers who are into special educators. Okay, so I myself wish you all a very happy Teachers' Day. Keep learning, keep growing. And just remember, when you enter the classroom, you are scientists, you are explorers, you are important, you are loved, you are respected, you are a friend. So you are so many things to a single child. Always give your best. Never ever do any injustice to any of your student, because this is how we are going to leave a legacy of helping each and everyone. And I request you all that if you like my videos, please share, like, and comment me. If you want any video on any topic, please do let me know. And I just wish you all the best. A few days to our exam. We don't know whether the exam is again going to be postponed. Let's wait for the schedule. Till that time, keep studying, and God bless you all. All the best. Once again, happy Teachers' Day.